Hi, welcome to the channel. Today's video is titled Divorced Woman Thinks $7,000 in alimony is too little. We're going to check this video together, and I'll love your thoughts and your contribution in the comments below. Let's dive right in.
Who initiated the divorce?
I initiated the divorce.
What was the reason?
I mean, okay. So the easy answer, of course, is that we grew apart, but there was a lot of, okay, we were young and we didn't communicate well. And really for me, if I'm honest, it's that he was emotionally disconnected. I felt alone in the marriage. I tried really hard to find ways to get through to him and I couldn't. And so eventually I checked out and became very resentful and angry. And finally, I got to the point where even though I had two little kids, no matter what he said or did, wasn't going to turn it around.
I see. And was it a contentious divorce or was he?
It was. I think that for some people, this is my personal opinion about him. He would maybe tell you something different, but I think it wounded his ego to be left. And at that point, even though he was I was very quickly replaced by somebody who had nothing to do with the divorce, and I really believe that. But it wasn't 2 months into our separation till another woman was living in my house, part-time mothering my kids. And I thought that I encouraged, a friend of mine set them up and I encouraged it thinking he would be nicer to me and we would be amicable once he was dating, and it didn't help at all. To this day, I feel like it's not as amicable as I wish it was. But we can get along on the surface. We go to the graduations and the birthdays.
Is he still with that girl?
Yeah, they're married.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they seem very happy, and I'm happy for them. I really don't care.
Did he pay you alimony?
He paid me 2 years of alimony.
Okay.
But I think that he really got away with not paying me much at all because my own parents got divorced when I was young, and it was very contentious, and I was afraid of fighting. So I just bowed out and said, I think his tactic was, if you leave me, I'm not going to give you a lot of money and you won't have anything. I had no career at that point, none. I had been a stay-at-home mom. And I basically was like, screw off. I'm smart. I'm smarter than you. I'll figure it out. I don't need or want your money, which sounds noble, but it really was a shit show as I was a young single mom and didn't have any career for a while.
Shared custody?
Shared custody.
50-50?
Yeah. I'm really close to my dad, so I didn't want to deny him that.
Was he paying you child support?
Yes, and I did get child support all the way through until my kids went to college. But it really didn't amount to that much. I went through a lot of really hard years where I had to work, go to grad school, live on student loans, take care of my kids, and I didn't feel like he was really very helpful or understanding. It was more like, look at the bed you made, and now you have to lie in it.
Just curious, how much was he paying you?
Wait, you already left the marriage. Like, before we even get to how much he was paying, you already left the marriage, right? It was a done deal for you. You already left the marriage. So now that he's no longer married to you, he's got another woman, you expect him to support your dream or be paying your tuition, your school fees? Make it make sense. I'm trying to find the audacity. Like, I cannot even find the audacity or the entitlement anywhere. It looks like it's wearing agbada. You're no longer with this man. You expect this man to be responsible for you going to school or whatever dreams you want to pursue. I can't find audacity and entitlement. I cannot find it. Let me take it back. Yeah.
Where I had to work, go to grad school. I don't need or want your money, which sounds noble, but it really was a shit show as I was a young single mom and didn't have any career for a while.
Shared custody?
Shared custody.
50-50?
Yeah, I'm really close to my dad, so I didn't want to deny him that.
Was he paying you child support?
Yes, and I did get child support all the way through until my kids went to college. But it really didn't amount to that much. I went through a lot of really hard years where I had to work, go to grad school, live on student loans, take care of my kids. And I didn't feel like he was really very helpful or understanding. It was more like, look at the bed you made and now you have to lie in it.
How much, just curious, how much was he paying you? I'm sure it changed over the course of 18 years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm divorced for 20 years. So at the beginning, I think I probably got around $6,000 a month in like child support and alimony. But this is a man who made a lot of money. So
well, can we separate the alimony and the child support? So
yeah, I just don't remember.
And alimony was 2 years, right?
2 years.
But so from the initiation of the divorce, at that point, he was paying you $6,000.
$7,000. So he was paying me, I just remembered. So I got about $2,500 a month for child support, something like that, and about $5,000 a month for alimony.
Was he a high earner?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is, again, I got divorced in 2005.
Yeah.
So this is a long...
That money went further back then.
Yes. Yes.
Well, so, but you said you only had alimony for 2 years.
Yeah.
For how much was the child support once the alimony stopped?
So the child support, I actually got less child support when the alimony stopped. But again, and this is why for any of you young women, if you ever find yourself in this situation, I was so traumatized by what my parents went through in New York State, where it's very hard to get divorced, watching them fight for years over money and custody, that I didn't want to haggle at all. And I should have, because maybe it sounds like no money to you, or maybe it sounds like a lot, but relative to what my ex-husband made, I really got very little money, and it was never enough to feel remotely comfortable, even working and going to school. So I wish I had fought a little harder.
Okay. Let's just say $7,000. And from there, you were using it to go to school, right? You left the marriage. And I know why I'm saying this, because again, talk about divorce and whatever is different for different people, right? But in this case, whether it's big or not, you were not doing anything. Now you've got your dream to support yourself, to take care of yourself. Okay, thank God there is alimony and there's child support, right? Two different income. The alimony for you, the child support for the children, right? Do you expect him outside of the alimony to sponsor you, your dream, or take care of you and your dream to go to school when he's got another family to take care of? I'm trying to understand that logic. It's not because it's not making sense. I'm trying to understand it. Yeah. I am honestly trying to understand it. And don't give me that crap to come and tell me that, oh, you've never been divorced, or you don't understand how the divorce works and what's this. Because once you stop being married to that man, or stop being married automatically, he doesn't care about your dream or whatever futuristic idea or futuristic whatever you have. It is not the man's job or business. You are alone in it. And many people should understand that. You were expecting a different support. If you were his wife, he would have supported you going to school and stuff, or going to grad school and stuff. You aren't his wife. He's not obligated to take or fund or take care of your grad school expenses or whatever. That's the truth. It's the reality of things. Sometimes the reality will hit you really hard, but that's the truth.
What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I think this child support thing where
Let me take it back a
the
bit.
child support.
Yeah. Back.
She got less child support when the alimony stopped. But again, and this is why for any of you young women, if you ever find yourself in this situation, I was so traumatized by what my parents went through in New York State, where it's very hard to get divorced, watching them fight for years over money and custody, that I didn't want to haggle at all. And I should have, because maybe it sounds like no money to you, or maybe it sounds like a lot, but relative to what my ex-husband made, I really got very little money, and it was never enough to feel remotely comfortable, even working and going to school. So I wish I had fought a little harder. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I think this child support thing where the child support is for the benefit of the child,
Yeah.
right? And so children, I mean, I don't know if the children had any illnesses or anything like that.
No.
They're not that expensive. And I think the child support system doesn't really take into consideration the actual cost of raising a child. So, I mean, I find it a bit dubious that, well, I wasn't getting paid enough. It's like, it sounds like you're getting paid, what, $2,000 to $3,000 a month? That's pretty good. I mean,
Okay.
See someone's comment here. Let's just read that. Find yourself in that what situation? The one you created by leaving your husband. Oh goodness. Victim are you or Abby? What a
That seems
victim are
fair.
you?
You are entitled.
That's what he said. What a victim are you? Because I'm trying to understand this mindset. And what she's talking about 2000, the year 2005. $5,000 monthly. Let me take it back.
if it's like, it
Oh,
sounds like you're getting paid, what, $2,000 to $3,000 a month? That's pretty good. I mean,
Okay, I mean,
that seems fair.
You are entitled to your opinion. But on the flip side, I made a decision with my husband at the time to relocate away from my family. I did better in college than he did. I graduated cum laude as a double major. We made a joint decision for me to stay home with the children. I then could not move. At the time that I got divorced, I had not worked for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years at his request. So the point of this is that I can't afford at this juncture to even rent a place and provide a home for the child. So it's not just a matter of putting food on the table. The courts want you to at least give a decent standard of living for your children. Now, our standards of living, most people will argue in court, which I did not do, that you should maintain the same lifestyle you had. I was living a very high lifestyle at the time, and I went into living a very middle of the road lifestyle.
Okay.
And none of that money was like keeping me, and I went to work immediately. Like, I mean, whatever the opinion is, I didn't have enough money to do anything but go to work and immediately try to build a career so that I could support myself.
What state were you living in? at the
Florida.
time? So, I mean, you said, though, for the first 2 years, you were receiving the alimony combined with child support.
Yeah.
That's $7,000
Yeah.
a month for a 2-year period
Yeah.
back in 2002?
5.
right.
2005.
It's $84,000 a year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and
Yeah.
the housing prices back in Florida, maybe what you could rent like a 2 to 3 bedroom house in Florida for 1,000, 2,000, maybe.
Exactly.
I don't
No,
even know.
not that low. Not that low. I bought a house.
In
I bought a house.
2005 in Florida?
you get-
Well, I don't know. In any
Well,
case,
where I live in
In any
Winter
case,
Park,
I
it's
don't
not
know.
inexpensive to live.
Taste, so Brian. No, no, I mean, you know what I mean. You know, it's, I mean, it's,
I do have expensive taste, but I
Let me stop it here. You have expensive tastes. You left the man, and then you expect the man to be what? Father Christmas, to come and sponsor your lifestyle that you said you no longer want to be a part of. Whose fault is it? You were living with him, you had an expensive taste. Now that you're no longer with him, Oga, come down. Come down from your high horse and face your front. You went to lead to middle. Is anything wrong with middle? You did not see the middle before you left the high one that you were living before you got there. Did anybody put you there? Mm-mm. So the man should come and sponsor this. And please, what is that talk about? Like, we're talking about 2005. 2005 for $5,000 You want to live like who exactly? Mark Zuckerberg. You will not cut your coat according to your size. Whose fault is it that you don't know how to cut your coat according to your size? You wanted to maintain the same eye level standard. Whose fault is it? Is it your husband's fault? It's not his fault. But again, trying to play this victim narrative, it is his fault that you left. It is his fault that you could not maintain your lifestyle. Coming to talk about giving advice to women, to their what? I beg you. Stop that thing. You people should stop deceiving yourselves. When you know that okay, oh, this one, you're coming to give excuse to say what you have expensive taste, so that we should do what, clap for you that you left your husband, and then you had 7K.
Lost my ability to have an expensive
Let me take it back. Okay.
taste. I hear what you're saying. It may sound
Oh,
like that, but I felt very poor. That's the reality.
Wait, it's not. But you had, first off, it probably wasn't just that. I'm assuming there was like a distribution of community
Hold
property. $2,000 to $3,000 a month. That's pretty good. I mean,
Okay, I mean,
that seems fair.
You are entitled to your opinion, but on the flip side, I made a decision with my husband at the time to relocate away from my family. I did better in college than he did. I graduated cum laude as a double major. We made a joint decision for me to stay home with the children. I then could not move. At the time that I got divorced, I had not worked for, 4 or 5 years at his request. So the point of this is that I can't afford at this juncture to even rent a place and provide a home for the child. So it's not just a matter of putting food on the table. The courts want you to at least give a decent standard of living for your children. Now, our standards of living, most people will argue in court, which I did not do, that you should maintain the same lifestyle you had. I was living a very high lifestyle at the time, and I went into living a very middle of the road lifestyle. And none of that money was like keeping me, and I went to work immediately. Like, I mean, whatever the opinion is, I didn't have enough money to do anything but go to work and immediately try to build a career so that I could support myself.
What state were you living in?
Florida.
So, I mean, you said, though, for the first 2 years, you were receiving the alimony combined with child support.
Yeah.
That's $7,000
Yeah.
a month for a 2-year period
Yeah.
back in 2002? 2005.
It's $84,000 a year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and
Yeah.
the housing prices back in Florida, maybe what you could rent like a 2 to 3 bedroom house in Florida for 1,000, 2,000, maybe, I don't even know.
Not that low. Not that low. I bought a house. I bought a house.
2005 in Florida? Well, I don't know. In any
Well,
case,
where I live in
any
Winter
case,
Park,
I
it's
don't know.
not
This is
inexpensive to
Expensive
live.
taste, so Brian. No, you know what I mean. You know,
I do have expensive taste, but I lost my ability to have an expensive taste. I hear what you're saying. It may sound like that, but I felt very poor. That's the reality.
Wait, it's not. But you had, first off, it probably wasn't just that. I'm assuming there was like a distribution of community property.
There
So
was like
it's
no
not just-
community. It was just that.
Was there a house?
There was a house, and
Their
at the end, I
cars
walked
and-
away with about $20,000 in the bank.
Can I make a point?
That seems pretty good to me.
Okay. Well,
good
it
to me.
definitely
And
didn't seem good to
alimony.
me.
I think that's fine.
In
Go ahead.
about 2012, I was living in Florida and my parents got divorced while I was in the 7th grade. My dad kind of bankrupted our whole family, and out of the divorce, my mother for 3 children in 2012 got $400 a month, no alimony, and she had to restart her whole life. She hadn't worked since I was born, besides being a freelance photographer, and she had to find a job and do everything on her own, and that was definitely a struggle for her.
Well,
sure.
There's a bit of difference in circumstance here.
No, for sure.
$400 a month versus $7,000 a
Yeah.
month.
It depends what the husband earns.
I personally object to that metric. I think there ought to be some caps on child support. For example, in California, it's just based off income. There's no cap. So, and I think most states there's no cap. So, I mean, if you're making millions and millions of dollars a year, what you're basically, it's just wealth transfer.
Yeah.
It's not actually has anything to do, it's not commensurate at all with the actual costs of raising a child. So, I mean, I think some of these ridiculous child support payments are not in line at all with the actual cost of raising a child, which I think is what it should be for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be it shouldn't be wealth transfer. It should be child support, not I'm going to continue providing a luxury lifestyle for the woman who divorced me.
So what do you think of the perspective that, if a husband makes more money and the wife divorces, and so the husband should not have to pay for the wife to have, an equal lifestyle, should the husband not then be the one taking care of the children? If the mom can't
Didn't they
afford,
have split custody?
they did. But if
Okay.
if he's not giving all that child support,
I mean, in the split custody situation, I would actually make a compelling argument that there should be no child support.
yeah,
No
no. But
child
if the
support?
kids are then
child
going to
support.
live a much worse life half the time, shouldn't the dad just be the one to take care of them? He can provide a better life
yeah.
for them.
Or
Why
the
not?
mom. If the
Give
mom
the
makes
dad
more money, then the
full
mom
custody.
pays.
Give the dad full custody. I'm in favor.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, it is like
that's the
his
case.
children, and she
But-
chose to leave.
I mean, look, to be fair, I'm fine with 50-50 custody.
Yeah.
And I think, if there's some compelling argument that she's completely skillless and she's going to be homeless, I can see some compelling arguments for child support in this situation. In any case, she had 2 years of alimony, which should have covered that. And you graduated from college.
Yeah, but it takes years to build up income.
How
And
old
then
were you when you were divorced?
I was 31 when I got divorced, and I had not worked since I was 24, and I had worked for like 2 or 3 years out of
I
college.
kind of think that's a windfall.
Then you get a job. You get a job. You get a job. I'm sorry, but it seems like people, like, you want to baby around this topic. You get a freaking job, because guess what? You've got kids to take care of. Because if you were the only one living, you go find job. So why do you think you want your husband to maintain the high-end lifestyle that you are living? If that the man live before and you have the money, would you be sponsoring the man's lifestyle? Mba, no. You tell the man to go and get the job. So why don't you want to go and get a job? You're not making excuses. You've not worked before 20, since you were. If you like, don't work since you were 19 years old. Go get a freaking job, because guess what? You've got bills to pay. Since you want to live the high-end lifestyle that you say you were living, go get a freaking job. Because guess what? You've got kids to take care of. And guess what? It's a 50-50 split. Right? So why are you making it seem like you could not get a job? You graduated top of the class in here. Use the knowledge that you used to graduate top of the class to go and find job. Why are you looking for special treatment? I thought you graduated. She's not even afraid, or like, she's not afraid to put it out there to say, oh, she graduated top of the class or whatever, but she got good grades, better than the husband. So what do you want to use the good grades to? Is it not to go and find job now that you don't have who will sponsor the lifestyle for you? Stop that nonsense. Stop it. Don't baby around this topic, because when you have kids, it's not only the man's responsibility to take care of the kids. As if you want the lifestyle, or if you want to maintain, to keep it up, take care of your kids and go and get a job. Because guess what? Those kids too, you want to give them the lifestyle. You want to maintain their lifestyle according to you. You want to maintain it. Go get a job to maintain it, so that when they are in their father's house, they will still have that one. Then when they are here, they will still have that one. Abi? Since you like high-end lifestyle, get a freaking job. You want to tell me 7,000 is not enough? You want what? 50,000 monthly. You got high grade, Abi? Use the high grade to go and find it.
For women, this idea that everything for you was paid for years, you didn't have to work, your rent was
Being
paid.
a mother's a job.
Imagine me as a dude. I was just living off my girlfriend, didn't have to pay rent, didn't have.
But lots of guys
flip the
do
roles,
that now.
Flip the
Oh, yeah.
roles,
Yeah.
and y'all will be very tilted about if a man tries to siphon money from women. This idea that, oh, she didn't have to work and the guy was paying for everything. I think that's a windfall for the women.
Well, here, let me ask you guys a question.
And
What
what do
about
you do when you get
Kevin
divorced?
Federline? Do you guys know Kevin Federline?
Yeah,
And
he just wrote a book.
I know. And what happens when I say Kevin Federline?
W.
I think of Brittany.
I know you think of Brittany, but why? Because Brittany had to pay
It's
him
hot.
all
Yeah.
the alimony.
Yeah.
And what did you guys think about that? Why was that a big story? Because you're like, why is Britney Spears paying for this guy all of his stuff? Everybody
Yeah.
thought it was so ludicrous. So Brian has a point. I'm just using that as the example of how crazy it sounds when you have Kevin Federline getting millions of dollars from Britney Spears for only being married for a year. When that instance, if you reverse it, there's so many more examples of women doing that to men.
Yes, but being married for a year and alimony is different from child support, and there are
I
realities.
think they did have kids. But.
Yeah, but I do agree that you shouldn't just transfer wealth and expect 50 grand a month to take care of your kids just because your husband made that. But I think it's harder to support your children if you haven't worked for a while, even for somebody who was as educated as I was. It took me a while till I paid, and I didn't even want any money. I tried not to take any money to get out.
Holy fuck! Nick? Can you fix that? Here, I'll do it.
My
Minimize
boobs aren't in view.
OBS.
If I marry a man, anything like that, because I know that I'm the one who makes, I don't know if I'll find a man who makes more money than I do. I am all for prenups and
Me
everyone
Me
should
too.
have one.
And I have that with my husband now. We're totally.
That is good. Yeah.
And I think we're back.
And I would never make those same choices I made.
Yeah.
Again, having lived through what I've
Well,
lived
I do
through.
think that's very thoughtful.
No, I would never do that. And I did not fight for money at all. And there was a lot of money on the line. So, that's not that's not my personal value system. All I can tell you is in my experience, it was much harder to support myself than I envisioned. I was I'm fine. I'll go get a sales job. I'll make a great living. I found it very hard to having all those years out of the workforce. I think things have changed a little. Again, this is 20 years ago, but I would never, ever, I tell my daughters every day, whatever you do, don't give up your career completely because you don't know what's going to happen and it's too hard to recover.
It couldn't.
Let me read this. C3, you shark. 7K monthly to buy a home for non-working mother with 50-50 custody. Try taking relationship advice from this remarried AO. You see, she's making it seem like back in 2005, family could not live or survive on $7,000 monthly or even $3,000 monthly. It makes no sense. Whose fault is it that you can't afford? You left your husband and you can't afford your lifestyle. Whose fault is it? Why are you making it seem like coming here to play the victim card? And you're making it 20 years ago, yes? Get a freaking job. If you get a sales job. It's not anybody's business. Get a job if you want to maintain the lifestyle because you decided to opt out of the relationship or opt out of the marriage. Making it look like, it's the man's fault that you did not fight for money. If you're not fighting for money, then what were you fighting for? For him to continuously sponsor your lifestyle, to take care of you as his responsibility when you're no longer married to him, you want to still be part of his responsibility. Quit it now. Stop it. That entitlement and that audacity, I'm still trying to look for it because the entitlement and the T is very big. Audacity, the T is very big. You don't even get fear of God for your chest.
Even be a divorce. It could just be your husband dying, and then that's
or your
sometimes
husband
hard.
could leave you. You think your life's great, and all of a sudden you get a Post-it note on the
He's
stairs.
dead, and now he's dating a man.
Gosh, that's bad.
I had a client whose husband, she came home and they've been married 30 years, and there was literally a Post-it note on the.
Wait, you said something interesting. You had that?
You had that? A Post-it note?
No,
Yeah, no.
About you.
No. So go back. So you're dating a guy, then you came out gay.
This was years ago in high school. I dated a guy for about a year.
I guess high school they're kind of
Yeah.
young. They might be.
Yeah.
And he then told you he was gay?
Well, actually, no, he refused to tell me. I found out on Facebook back when it first, I guess, came out that he was making a lot of, when dance videos were a thing with your,
On TikTok?
YouTube.
Oh, you said what?
Before TikTok, way before TikTok.
So sorry about the lag there, guys. It looks like we got it fixed. It was about 2 or 3 minutes there. My apologies. Really quick, getting back to the topic at hand. Alex had brought up a point that Britney Spears was paying child support to Kevin Federline, and I just Googled it really quick. She was paying him, by the end of it, $40,000 a month in child support. I believe they have 2 kids together. $40,000 a month in child support. Personally, I think this, although it's a woman paying it to a man, even then, I think this is incredibly excessive. It doesn't cost $40,000 a month to raise children. So, and then also recently, Halle Berry She was married to like some male supermodel. They got divorced. I'm not sure who initiated it. And she's having to pay him child support. I don't know if anybody in the chat can tell us how much. Do you guys know how much Halle Berry is paying her ex-husband in child support and alimony or whatever? I think it's even more than what. Halle Berry, like child
Get
support.
the
I mean, the
prenup.
theory is to maintain an equal standard of living for the kids, but it does seem outrageous.
Oops.
I think kids will be happy
pays
as long as
$8,000 a month.
they see that they're
8,000.
Halle
That's
Berry.
That's not too bad.
It's not crazy.
I mean, it's a lot.
Plus 4.
it's still weird that she's paying him
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
I mean, that's still.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
love
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's like all these women, you know, they complain about the gender wage gap when in reality, OnlyFans, that's where the biggest gender wage gap is. Guys make no money and
tragedy.
girls make all the money. So,
Tragedy.
you know, you guys are a bunch of hypocritical hoes. So we're sick of it. No, but that is true. You know,
But these are all new phenomenons that women have these ways to make money.
I know, but I mean, I guess there's not that many different ways, though. I mean, OnlyFans. I mean, is that the new thing? What's the new thing?
You could be doing TikTok lives.
You see this entitlement and audacity is so outrageous. Tell me you have audacity without telling me you have audacity. That you have an expensive taste lifestyle. This man, you left the man should continuously fund that lifestyle because you are who? Who are you? I'm not understanding. I'm trying to understand who you are. That this man will continuously sponsor or fund that lifestyle. You left. So you're not his responsibility anymore. You're no longer his responsibility. $7,000 should be enough. And it's decent. Should be enough. The remaining, if it's not enough, you sort out the remaining. Abi? So what is this? And again, it just like I don't know. Like the way she just said this in it make me vex. Because why do you if it were your money, would you think that you're paying him the 7,000 that you're paying him is not enough? If the roles were to be reversed, you would even argue and fight it that it's not your fault that he's living that expensive lifestyle. How much did they take to take care of pikin? Or how much does it even cost to take care of a child? That you hear some people say, oh, they want their child support to be. If it's too expensive, give it to the party or the person with the most money to take care of the child. Then you go and see the pikin or go and see the child, or maybe there should be arrangements for where the both of you can, or you all can see the child or see the children, right? Arrangement conducive, yeah. Since the children's, you want to maintain the lifestyle of the children, let them stay with the family or with the parent who is capable or who can take care of the child, the lifestyle, or who can maintain the lifestyle. And you that cannot afford to maintain the lifestyle, you can be visiting. Abi, it's fair. Is it not fair? You have 50-50 split bill and you split custody and you're complaining like you've left the house, the man should continue. It's his responsibility to continue with your lifestyle. How? Have the fear of God. Let me know what you think. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.